Welcome to The Explainer. Look, the story of Jujutsu Kaisen is a lot. It's this wild ride of cursed energy, ancient promises, and some seriously brutal betrayals. And with Season 3 on the horizon, we're gonna untangle that whole web and get you completely caught up for what's coming next. So here's the game plan. We'll kick off with how our hero Yuji gets into this mess, cover his first wild missions, check out a school event gone wrong, and then take a crucial look into the past. After that, it's the big one, the Shibuya incident, and we'll finish with how that chaos sets everything up for Season 3. All right, let's start at square one. Our story begins with Yuji Itadori. He's a high school kid, super strong, genuinely a good person, and his pretty normal life is about to get completely upended because of one single impulsive decision. So picture this. Yuji's friends are about to be torn apart by this horrifying monster. In a split second, to get some power, any power, he does the unthinkable. He swallows this gnarly, rotting finger they found. And let's just say he gets the power all right, but it comes with a price he never could have imagined. So, what's the deal with all this power anyway? Well, it all runs on something called cursed energy. You can think of it like this: metaphysical gunk. It's born from all the negative feelings humans have, fear, hate, regret. It's basically the fuel for everything that's about to happen. And this energy creates a pretty clear and kind of dark ecosystem. You've got your normal folks who are leaking this stuff without even knowing it. That leakage pools together and creates these monsters called cursed spirits. And then you have the Jujutsu sorcerers, the very few who can actually see and control this energy to fight back. Now, that finger Yuji ate, that belonged to Realmen Sukuna, the undisputed king of curses. We're talking about an ancient being so powerful, the only way they could stop him was to seal his soul away into his 20 fingers. By eating just one, Yuji has become a living prison for an ancient, pure, evil entity. And this is when the strongest sorcerer alive, Satoru Gojo, enters the chat. He gives Yuji a choice, and it's grim. It perfectly shows you how this world works. Yuji is basically a ticking time bomb, but he's also the only chance they have to find all of Sukuna's fingers and get rid of him for good. So Yuji picks the delayed execution option, obviously, and gets enrolled in Tokyo Jujutsu High. He barely has time to meet his new teammates, Megumi and Nobara, before they're thrown right into the deep end. No training wheels here. And on a really, really bad early mission, Yuji gets his heart ripped out. He dies. But then, inside his own mind, Sukuna offers him a deal, and in that moment of desperation, Yuji says yes, making a pact that is going to come back to bite him in the worst way possible. Meanwhile, while Yuji's just trying to survive day to day, the real villains are making their move. We've got a crew of super smart curses led by an ancient sorcerer named Kenjaku, and they know they've got one huge problem. Satoru Gojo is just too strong. So what's their plan? It's simple. Don't fight him, trap him. This is where Yuji's whole worldview gets a harsh reality check. He befriends a bullied kid named Junpei, but he has to watch in horror as this cursed spirit, Mahito, just completely manipulates him and then brutally transforms him into a monster. It's a devastating lesson that, no, you can't save everybody. Okay, so things really ramp up during the big school competition between Tokyo and Kyoto Jujutsu High. What's supposed to be a bit of friendly rivalry gets crashed in a major way, and suddenly it's a fight for survival. So these powerful curses smash into the event, and it looks like an all-out attack. But here's the twist. The whole thing is a diversion. The real mission is to use the chaos to sneak in and steal 6 more of Sukuna's fingers that are being stored at the school. Now, to really get why the villains are so obsessed with Gojo, we have to jump back in time. Season 2 hits us with a huge flashback to Gojo's teenage years, and we see the tragic story of his friendship with Suguru Geto, and how the two strongest sorcerers of their time were completely torn apart. It all boils down to one failed mission. They're supposed to protect a girl named Riko, but they get taken down by an assassin, Toji Fushiguro, and Riko dies. For Gojo, this failure pushes him to a whole new plane of existence. He becomes almost a god. But for Geto, it breaks him. He sees the very people they were protecting celebrating her death, and he just snaps. He decides non-sorcerers are the problem, and that leads him down a path his best friend just can't follow. Okay, all of that backstory, all of that planning, it all comes to a head on Halloween night in Shibuya. This is it. This is the endgame.
The villain's master plan to take Satoru Gojo off the board is finally happening.
And here is the absolute turning point. Kenjaku shows up, but he's wearing the face of Gojo's dead best friend, Geto. Seeing him just freezes Gojo for a second, a single moment of hesitation. And that's all they needed. They trap him in a powerful cursed item called the Prison Realm. And just like that, the world's strongest protector is gone. With Gojo sealed away, the curses immediately move on to phase 2. They find Yuji in the chaos and force-feed him 10 more fingers. This takes Sukuna from a fraction of his power to a terrifying 15 out of 20 fingers, unleashing an absolute monster on Shibuya. So Sukuna is back, and he immediately runs into a problem, a summoned creature called Maharaga. This thing has never, ever been beaten, and its power is terrifyingly simple. It adapts to any and every attack you hit it with. So the question becomes, how do you possibly beat something that becomes immune to whatever you do? Well, Sukuna's solution is just unbelievably brutal. He unleashes his ultimate power, his domain expansion, called Malevolent Shrine. It's this unstoppable storm of invisible cuts that doesn't just shred Maharaga to pieces, it also completely levels a massive part of Shibuya, killing thousands of people in the blink of an eye. When Yuji finally gets control back, he's just standing in the middle of a massive crater. A crater he knows his body created. The Shibuya incident is over, but the world has been completely and permanently broken by what happened. And just when you think it can't get any worse, Mahito shows up to gloat and then murders Yuji's mentor, Nanami, and his friend, Nobara, right in front of him. That's the final straw. It shatters Yuji. His whole mission to save people is gone, replaced by this cold, empty promise to just exterminate curses. And as Yuji is finishing off Mahito, Kenjaku shows up again, absorbs the defeated curse, and finally launches his real master plan. He awakens powers in thousands of regular people across Japan and forces them into a nationwide death match called the Culling Game. And to top it all off, the Jujutsu leaders put the death sentence back on Yuji and send another super powerful sorcerer, Yuta Okachusu, to hunt him down. And that's exactly where we're left hanging. That's the setup for Season 3. Gojo is trapped, Japan is in total chaos, and Yuji is a fugitive being hunted by his own side for a massacre he didn't even commit. So the big question is, who on earth is left to stop what's coming?